At Cloud9, they thought they had it, but relying a lot on the Necrophos ulti, there was an interesting visual bug with the ultimate where, like, he used the ult, he didn't actually get the kill, so the hero's buyback was not disabled, he had an Ags, but it showed the icon. And I think Cloud9 saw the icon as well, and they got very confused, and I think Eternal Envy even made a tweet afterwards. Anyway, Bristleback ends up buying back, they turn the game around, eHome win a bunch of fights in a row, they take the game with the Warlock. Kind of an MVP Phoenix draft. They were running Warlock, Bristleback, Viper. Mushi team's known for their diversity in terms of drafting, and well, he showcases it there.
Well, no rest for the wicked. We've got Big God taking on
Navi.
I just got down here. I just ran down the stairs 2 minutes ago. So they're going to be playing Navi. What's going on in the draft? We're already partway through here, so we're going to hop ourselves right into it. And
all right, so
what do we make of this,
let's
guys?
see. Navi currently 0-2. Big God sitting 1-1. So Navi definitely need to start putting some wins on the board. It's first overall pick for Navi. They're going to grab a Troll, the Axe and Jug banned first stage. So the big three, I guess you would say, at least they seem to be the big three, are mostly banned out. Shadow Fiend Venge, reply from Big God. They have been starting to run the Shadow Fiend a bit more, it seems. Even though you don't really look at this as like a classic Shao 8 or honestly any of their players' hero, but at least not over the past couple of years.
It's actually not a Shao 8 type of hero.
I know.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But who's going to play it otherwise? Burning? I mean, ROTK? They don't really have a player that strikes me as like a classic Shadow Fiend type player. But they're going to go for it first pick.
Feels like you need a Shadow Fiend player in the current, this tournament at least.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the trending heroes, it feels like.
Yeah, he's like taking over a lot of heroes in mid, and that extra 25 damage per race, like, is proving to be very useful as well in getting his farm faster, dealing more damage in team fights. And not to mention, minus armor, dire side. Again, a huge plus.
Yeah, also, I guess helpful for trying to burst down the Troll Warlord, who tends to have pretty decent armor. So
The spells will actually do more damage to the troll early game.
That's true. And that blind will be an irritant. Navi going for the Wisp, and now the ban's coming out. So the Wisp partners banned, especially the Tiny, the Slark. Less of a hard partner, but certainly here's the benefit a lot from that troll attack speed. Meanwhile, Navi removing your Disruptor, good against the Wisp, and then banning out the Void.
I feel like these are odd Navi bans. Like, sure, Disruptor Glimpse is annoying versus Wisp, but they're just... Disruptor is like an abysmal win rate. Void is... I don't know.
Fallen off.
The
I feel
Void
like
ban especially feels pretty strange.
Yeah, and I feel like the Disruptor ban makes sense. Like, there's it's very logical in that, okay, it counts as Wisp, but I feel like even against Wisp, I feel like Disruptor doesn't even I think the hero has the lowest win rate in this current patch of heroes actually pick more.
It was
than
like
5 or 10
I think
times.
we looked it up earlier. It was what 35% or something.
It's in the 30s.
No Till, a little of him cried inside when you said that.
For what?
For Disruptor.
What? Does he win with Disruptor?
Yeah,
Does he
they,
like
they
it?
do.
Well,
when it was on
they're
Secret, they hit
yeah.
a couple of really big games on
Okay,
Disruptor.
well,
you know who's
they're
really
the 35% out of the 100, I guess.
you know who's really crying is FY. I don't think I was hoping that Midas Ags Refresher Disruptor would become a thing,
Oh,
but
I remember that game where he
Yeah.
actually dropped 2 donuts and 2 ultimates.
it's true. He single-handedly won them the game, but I mean, it's just not something you're going to see very often.
Ooh, Navi, Wisp, Bristleback.
All right, so how are they going to run the Bristle? Historically, Navi, not even historically. Recently, they've been running it as a safe lane farmer for Havos. MVP Phoenix showed a different way to play the hero. They ran it dual lane, off lane, and they wrecked Navi's tri-lane.
Yeah.
So I wonder, does Navi take some lessons from that? Do they stick with their
It's-
tried, and I don't know if I'd say
It's
true. but
highly dependent on how does the enemy lanes work though. If
Yeah.
the enemy is playing greedy or have weak supports, like for example the IG game, Jakiro and Zeus, then you would probably want to do that.
Yeah.
But against like Witch Doctor and Venge, and who knows what's their lane partner. And it's not gonna be easy against Witch Doctor, that's for sure. Witch
The
Doctor,
cast.
the cast is
like
really
bounce
good in the
from
lane.
Wisp to Bristleback. If you try to get too aggressive, it's gonna punish you.
Yeah, and Melodic as well. It's
Yeah.
such a big spell in the lane.
Yeah, really, it seems like that's part of what's making Witch Doctor more valuable. We're seeing a lot of tanky cores in the front lines,
Yeah.
and Maldic, very nice to counter that. And kind of like the idea with the Shadow Demon and Soul Catcher Max. I think I was casting a game with that a week or two ago, but gives you a lot more team fight presence.
Yeah, team fight, Tidehunter.
Yeah.
Team fight presence. This is definitely one of the biggest team fight presence.
It does normally Navi. It is the Havos troll though. This isn't really a mid dendy hero, so
They're actually gonna. I think if they have Bristleback, usually they play. If Funnick doesn't play it, they would have a mid troll and a safe lane Bristleback.
Okay.
But yeah, it almost always has been Havost on the troll for Navi. I don't even know if Dendy's played it yet, but it's definitely not a
probably
go-to move.
means if that's the case, it probably means that Funnick
Bristle. in the
Funnick is
offlane?
gonna be Bristol back. Yeah.
So maybe they will do that MVP style.
It's very risky.
Okay,
depending
this is
on what
a
the
Go Black hero.
Yeah. They're missing a Go Black here.
Hmm.
Do they even do just like an Abaddon? Like,
Abaddon
the Go
Bris-
Black Navi, the Go Black style would be Abaddon Bristle.
Yeah.
And
the-
Wisp +1.
They'll
mid,
always
maybe.
duel in like the game they did Warlock and Night Stalker offlane.
Yeah, they do.
That game was
Earlier today they did. Yeah. They do all kinds of weird stuff. So it sometimes works. It often though backfires. I feel. But they really like securing Funnick's farm. I think it's definitely something that kind of sets Navi apart a bit from some of these other teams. And
They take care of their offlaner basically.
Yeah.
They don't leave him for his own death.
I feel like you look at what the
Uh-huh.
Ices and Universes are doing. Like they're just off on their own. They don't mind if they die because they get farm and XP and just create space though. Funnick is not a space creator.
He has been in the past. Puck, his Darkseer, has been sensational in previous patches.
Yeah, but people usually remember him being the Kings.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more the heroes like the heroes that he can create a lot of space on just are not really popular right now.
Mhm.
Big God do ban the sniper. Obviously, the very annoying to deal with when he's got a
You-
troll, a bat, and wisp backing him
Did
up.
they actually pick Shadowfiend in the previous game, Big God, and they had Shao8 playing it? Was
let
he?
me- let me
Because I
double
remember
check.
Burning does play Shadowfiend though.
Yeah, definitely not a common hero for him. They played HR, they beat them, and
Yeah,
it was
Shao8.
Shao 8 on the Shadow Fiend.
Shadowfiend morphling.
Looks like he went for the mech BKB build, so kind of your classic Mushi style Shadow Fiend.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see.
So
So,
there'll
then
be-
they need a burning hero.
Yeah, they need a burning hero,
5
and at this
seconds
point they have spell damage. They have a lot of disables. Yeah, a lot of stuff would actually fit here for them. They want something that can actually tank up. Okay, it's
This is
gonna
what
be
they
the
ran
same.
in the previous match.
Yeah,
So
same. It's actually really strong. Like looking at their lineup, Tide and Morphing together. There's always this synergy between the two heroes, in the sense that Tide is there, the big AOE big brother. He's there to make sure that you can't focus the Morphling, and Morphling deals a lot of damage in a short period of time. In the Ravage time, he's gonna take out one hero immediately with the adaptive and waveform and a couple of right clicks.
This Navi draft has 0 disable, 0
Man,
silence.
I'm really
no
worried.
way of dealing with.
I worry
anything.
about the Navi draft though.
Yeah.
How are they gonna take a big team fight?
they have like no lockdown
Well,
at all
there's-
for the Morphling.
There's your only
Centaur,
lockdown.
Centaur plus Abaddon offlane. Holy
Okay.
shield double edge.
Godblack
I
lives.
mean,
in-
against Avenge Witch Doctor though, I mean, just Witch Doctor is.
he loves his defensive supports, but is Abaddon really going to get much done this game? Like you look at Big God's draft, they're not really all about like chain
Tec-
stuns and pickoff. They can
techni-
just farm a lot.
Technically, if you think about it, Big God's heroes, if they don't have Ravage, they're gonna initiate with the Venge Stun or
Yeah.
Swap or Witch Doctor cast. So they go on somebody, be it the Bristle, the Troll, or the Centaur, 3 really tanky heroes. Abaddon comes in with a shield, Whiz comes in with the overcharge or a short distance relocate. They can potentially turn a fight because of the shield alone. The shield would buy them enough time to actually relocate, get someone out, reinitiate with the Centaur or something along the lines, and you blow your Ravage or you blow your Witch Doctor ultimate, you don't get a kill, and that's when Navi's heroes are better, when you blow your ultis and you don't get anything.
That is true. Navi, we get underway with the draft, so or
Well,
the game.
Before
With
I
the
leave you
draft.
guys, after seeing the draft, we favoring Big God Navi. What do you reckon?
Prepare for battle.
I do like that this is kind of a iconic Navi style, very aggressive cores, up in your face, but it just seems like Big God have the more balanced draft for me. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to say Big God.
I think Big God has has a lot more room for error, and Navi does have less room for error in the draft. It's easier for Big God to execute. It's much more difficult for Navi to execute because they need to rely on outplaying the enemy, making the better individual plays, and yeah, winning the game by that. And
Alright.
Big God is just really getting the big team fights going, getting the farm on the Morph on the Shadowfiend, obviously, and getting to the point where Navi could not take any more fights with the Morphling and Shadowfiend being too farm.
How about you, David? Who
We're in
are your
agreement. This is
Arcanas on?
a rare moment on the panel. We're all in agreement, and on that note, I'll let you guys take it away because everything's in peace and harmony here at the BTS studio.
Yes, our hearts have gotten together.
30 seconds.
And we'll begin now with our second to last match on this stream, guys. Be sure to check out the Twitch team for all the coverage coming out from the Dota Cinema stream, from Coddle Guy on BTS2, twitch.tv/team/DAC2015. But with that said, team introductions. We'll begin with BG. We've got Lanham up to the north of our screen here, playing that Witch Doctor Ice Ice. Not to be confused with Ice 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 on the Vengeful Spirit. ROTK. Going to be playing one of his signature heroes on this Tidehunter as he begins to duke it out a bit with Havost here down in the river. It's going to get slowed. They continue to fight everybody really wanting this bounty rune. It ends up going to ROTK, and Havost takes a lot of punishment for his trouble. Then Shao8 strutting mid as the Shadow Fiend, and it leaves Burning on the safe lane morph. And then the opposition, an 0-2 Na'Vi team. They looked pretty convincing in the wild card, but struggling here on day one. You've got Goblak on the Abaddon. Close behind him is that Centaur, so we're going to see the dual lane that we talked about in the draft. Funnick going to be handling that. Mid goes Dendi on the Troll. It's normally Havost's hero, but they do mix it up a bit for this particular game, and it leaves bottom Vankscore on the Wisp and Havost playing the Bristle.
Yeah, the Tide's gonna take a lot of damage from the start, but he has a lot of regen to make sure that he's gonna be able to stay in the lane consistently. But I expect the Tide to actually get quite a lot from this lane as well. He's melee hero against Tide. It's gonna be really annoying to deal with.
Well, Funnick's pretty far up here, but with the Abaddon behind him, although he may not get much in the way of farm, it is very difficult to kill him off. It'll be fairly durable for now.
I'm actually thinking when the lane becomes really strong, when they actually pop level 3, they have 2 points in the shield, 1 point in miscall, and when they have 2 points in double edge, they can actually kill the Venge or the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor will be a fairly easy kill if they catch him. The Venge as well. Morphling, a bit more difficult with the Morph later on, but yeah, there's a lot of kill potential like you mentioned. They can't get so much farm.
RTK being dove bottom lane. He does stick up. Havost is going to continue committing for this. Has one more set of quills. The Spirit securing the kill. Na'Vi get on the board early here as the Courier walks into the tower practically at this bottom lane, and then will calmly skirt back. Havost does end up going down to the Dire. I believe he bought before dying, though.
Yeah, they're gonna lose the Bristol, but I mean it's fine. The Tide wasn't there to gain experience, so it wasn't a huge deal. And middle lane Tro is being so aggressive on the Shadow Fiend.
He is getting his souls, though. And Shao8 not dying yet. Looks like he should have his bottle fairly soon. Actually went for some additional tangos. But with the raises coming out, he should get most of the way there with this next wave.
This is a dangerous rune. This is a dangerous rune. for the
Everybody
Tro.
wants it. Haste on the Dendi. Now the shield applied. And he's going ham up on towards Lamb in the top lane. He goes in. Gets the first hit bash. Oh, what a player. Now the shield going to explode. One more auto attack. Should be enough for the kill. Gets one. He's almost thinking about a dive onto Ice Ice.
No, he doesn't have enough mana though.
Yeah, if he had a little bit more, he would go for that.
Yeah, probably.
But this will allow Shao8 to get his bottle, so there is a trade-off here, though it's certainly worth it for Dendi.
And now comes to the point where the Centaur is level 3, Abaddon close to his level 3 as well. This is dangerous times for the Venge and the Witch Doctor. They have to be really careful. Centaur has boots, Venge has no boots, Witch Doctor has boots, so the Venge is going to be the most vulnerable target here. Like even the Morphling would be able to burst him down if he's not really careful with his HP.
Shadow Fiend is farming well, Morphling is farming well. Tidehunter actually CSing very well in the offlane, so even though it's 2-1 for Na'Vi, BG is still getting quite a bit out of their lanes early on.
Yeah, and we all decided that BG, if everything goes even, they'll have a
It's
really...
not, I mean, like I think you were mentioning, and just to expand on it, it's not that they can't lose even if it's even, but it's more, it's just easier.
it's a lot easier.
A lot of fairly reliable ways to get kills. Start Magic Missile into any sort of follow-up from Morphling.
Man, like if you
Huge
think,
team fight control.
you think about 5 of the BG heroes knocking at Navi's tower,
Yeah.
and Navi even want to take the fight that early on?
Yeah, like how do you start that fight? You go in with Centaur, Blink, Stomp, and then there's a defensive swap. There's a cast to punish heroes who follow that up. There's defensive Ravage. Morphling's not a hero you can really go on in most cases. They don't have that great of lockdown for the Morphling, and he is getting good farm here top, so yeah, it's not that Na'Vi can't do it, but their lineup ideally you just look to snowball. Take over the game with the Wisp, Bristle maybe get some kills on tower dives, and don't even let BG get to that later stage team fight execution.
Yeah, they need to at least get something done in the laning phase. And top lane, like you mentioned, the morphing is having good fun, but he's still getting disrupted a little. But he's not having perfect CS, so
Mid lane, or Shadow Fiend taking a lot of harass. This is not fun for Xiao 8.
yeah, this lane is actually really annoying for the Shadow Fiend. Look at this troll can just run up literally and just fight with the Shadow Fiend. Top lane,
They're
Centaur
getting aggressive.
Centaur is trying to run in, get some damage done to the supports, chasing the supports away.
I'll help you. Oh, thanks for the help, Shagbark. Lanham is not pleased with your effort, though. And now, gonna get caught out in the river, though. These two alone not gonna be enough to take him down.
Yeah, Abaddon has level 3 as well. This is gonna be the point where the Abaddon and Centaur are really strong. Level 3 Centaur, level 3 Abaddon. Enough damage. They have more than enough damage to kill.
RTK gonna deny Vangscore's ribs. That's a bit irritating for him, but although Shadow Fiend's been under heavy pressure, WinteR, he now gets to that point where you can just start raising out the waves, maybe even stacks the jungle a bit, and maybe able to just catch up and pull ahead and see us through.
They are
that.
gonna try and set up a kill here with the Witch Doctor, knowing that the troll is always constantly trying to go on the Shadow Fiend. They are gonna try and bait this with the Shadow Fiend, trying to run up the ramp. Then troll maybe sees it, runs in with his whirling axe, tries to commit for a kill, and the Witch Doctor will be there to pounce.
Xiao 8 not trying to make it too obvious. He's like showing himself, going for denies, but it's not like he's running up on the enemy hill. So playing it just about right.
Oh.
Now getting dove by Dendy. Raise! He doesn't even need the help. It looks like one more auto attack gets the solo kill on Dendy. Oh, Director 8. He might have quote unquote retired, but man, oh man, he's still got it.
Oh,
that was just a pure
yeah,
outplay.
That was just a huge misplay there. Yeah, he got too aggressive there, taking too much damage. Wow, that was a huge kill for the Shadow Fiend. That is actually gonna pull him ahead in levels by a lot. He's gonna have his level 7. This lane is basically over for the troll because the Shadow Fiend is just gonna push the lane, farm jungle, and the troll would have very little opportunity to try and get a kill on the Shadow Fiend after this.
And it is a lane that you really look for the troll to dominate a bit early on, but not doing it early, it's going to be much harder moving forward. And the Shadow Fiend. Do you expect to see Xiao go for that standard build, just the early mech? We've seen the occasional Midas, but it doesn't seem particularly popular in China.
They probably wouldn't do that because Chinese teams don't really like to do that. I mean, you have a morphing though, morphing plus Shadow Fiend lineup. You don't really need any more extra late game. You just need to secure the early to
bottom
mid game.
rune. Our Wisp in a bit of trouble. Lanham coming out, doesn't even throw the cast, but there's going to be a tether ready. So, Vangscore dodging the trap that was closing in from BG.
Just take a look at the last hit's counter. Look at how much the Tide is actually getting. Like he died, yes, he died. He gave away one death, but he's getting so much out of the lane. He has so many last hits in his lane.
It's really tough for Wisp. Like you go on the Tide with the tether slow, and then he just anchor smashes you. You've got 0 base armor. You instantly lose what, a third of your health or close to it?
Yeah, because you don't have armor.
Yeah, it's not easy. It just feels like they're getting too much out of the lanes.
The Centaur, however, oh my god, the Centaur only has 9 last hits so far. He's not doing really well. They didn't get any kills on the support, so this is gonna be a long way to go for the blink for the Centaur.
And without his blink, how do you start a fight as Navi? You have to either relocate on top of someone or just run it, though.
Stampede in. That's a way.
Yeah, but you stampede in, Cask will greet you, Ravage might greet you. Ravage is already online, by the way. He's almost level 7 at 7 minutes. This is insanely good stuff.
Yeah, our TK is just getting like a lot of fun.
This could be a kill opportunity. Lanham is waiting here mid, though, so never mind that. With the Witch Doctor backing him up, just can't really go in.
Big God's really pulling ahead right now. Even they have Bristleback is leading in last hits, but Morphling, Shadow Fiend, and Tide. Yeah, 3 heroes following up after the Bristleback. They're getting more farms on their course at the moment.
What do you do if you're Navi? Is it just about securing that Centaur blink? Do you even consider swapping the lanes around, or maybe put the Bristleback there instead?
Yeah, obviously you would be looking like the biggest thing you would be looking to get right now is the Centaur blink, but I feel like they didn't really achieve what they would hope for in the laning phase, which is to actually get a lot more from the offlane from the Centaur, and obviously the middle lane as well, which didn't go their way after Dandy died. So this is like, it's gonna be difficult for Navi because, like we mentioned, BG have the superior team fight, and Navi relies on getting ahead in the laning phase and probably maybe even getting to a late game with better items on the throw, the Bristle. Like head-on big team fights is difficult for them.
They have wrapped Funnick around towards the mid lane. He rotates off of top, but this was spotted. BG drawing on the map. They're saying Centaur, he's somewhere in our woods, so just play it safe. Don't be off farming neutrals on your own Shadow Fiend, and As long as he sticks to that recipe, he should be absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
Lamb is just basically here all the time. He's permanent bodyguard, making sure that the Shadow Fiend has the sense of security when he's farming.
And that's the thing, is they can do this because there's just no way, like, you can't go on the Morphling. You really can't go on the Tide. It's only the Shadow Fiend who can really be pressured.
Yeah, top lane. They're trying to swing around behind the Centaur here with the Venge.
Doesn't have Stampede yet. They barely get off the Magic Missile. Does it enough damage, though? Funnick? Low, but they can't finish him.
Yeah, it still drives him back a bit, but he's gonna get the Salve from Goblet, and with Goblet in the lane, Fun can return to farming in the lane. Can try to get some last hits.
Troll going to work. Where's a bash when you need one? Dendy dropping low, or rather, Xiao 8 dropping low. Here's Dendy, tries to finish him off, but the cast bounces beautifully. They turn. Xiao 8 getting off that one raise. Dendy bottling up, desperately trying to survive. He makes it out safely, but man, oh man, they just can't quite find the firepower to secure these kills.
Yeah, the Shadow Fiend has like power trades and Aquila. It's really difficult, and not to mention Lamb was there timely again, making sure that the director doesn't fall.
Yeah, he's got to live long enough to see his script fulfilled. Again, it's the beauty of having these other cores who don't need help. Like, if the Morphling or Tide were weaker in lane, if they had more pressure on themselves, then maybe you can't park a hero mid, but Shadow Fiend is just the only point you can really push on if you're Na'Vi. And that blink is still a long way off, WinteR.
Yeah, it's getting worrisome for Na'Vi as time goes by. It seems like they're under the clock. It's ticking. The
And in
more time goes by, their time gets lesser.
And in the meantime, they've been stacking Ancients. ROTK can go and farm the stack pretty much whatever he wants, and well, should he go clear out the stack, he may have a blink as soon or even sooner than the enemy Centaur.
Yeah, he can go at any time he wants, but at this point he's gonna take the lane, probably get his
Trying to go on mid, it looks like. Jumping in is the troll, and they even stampede forward, but it's all of this just for Lanham, and TPs start coming out. Xiao 8 will raise and usher one away. And forces out the TPs. Doesn't really cost Na'Vi too much, but again, this is just a very momentum, high tempo based lineup for Na'Vi, and they aren't able to achieve that tempo. BG are just deflecting them at every turn.
Yeah, and Tide's gonna come over here. Maybe he's not gonna stack once more, but probably gonna take his 4th point in Anchor Smash before he starts actually doing the stack. But things are looking great for BG. Like, the start of the game is fantastic for them.
And once SF gets mecha, it gets so much harder for Na'Vi.
The only one having a good time from Na'Vi is just the pistol back. This is really worrisome for Na'Vi.
Is there anything else they can do?
At this point, they just need to farm the blink. Like, literally, their biggest priority is the blink on Funnick. Like, maybe they can actually consider moving the Bristol and the Wisp to the off lane and just give the safe lane to the Centaur. Like, give him the time, give him the space. Just wait for him to get the blink before you start rolling. At this point, the blink is just the biggest item they want.
He is going to head off that top lane, trotting back towards his own jungle. I don't think they have any stacks here for the Centaur.
Nah, I don't think yeah, they don't.
But, well, I mean, at this rate, he's still like 3 minutes off of it at least.
3 is really generous if he gets a kill.
4 maybe?
4 or 5. He doesn't have return though. It's gonna be slow jungle.
Yeah, that's true. And he's only level 6. And I'm going to engage with Vanscore here in the river. Has the heal to keep himself safe. In the meantime, up the top rune, Abaddon ends up going down. Not yet level 6. Just a Venge stun and I guess a couple of auto attacks. Maybe a raise to bring him down.
Yeah, double raise and dead.
That's not good. Giving Xiao 8 kills when he's already ahead, and now
The mech is on, and he's level 11, having the 2nd point in ultimate, which is huge as well with the Ravage.
And they're going to start pushing WinteR. They have the double heal coming out, the Venjara. Ice does not have swap yet. They may want to bring in more reinforcements because Na'Vi are seeing this as an opportunity to fight. They're rotating their Centaur around, but really, can they fight? BG going to start to dive the tower even. They know there's a Centaur like just around the corner, and they just don't care.
Wow.
They take the tower with ease. They might even kill off Dendy if he's not careful. De-warding up the hill as they go. They're doing this without the Tide. The Morphleet's still pushing top. 3 men together, running a Shadow Fiend Morphling draft and just running over a tier 1 mid at 13 minutes. That just shouldn't happen.
This is just getting out of hand at this point. They're putting so far ahead. And Na'Vi, what is Na'Vi's heroes gonna do if they are so far behind? It's just so difficult for them to execute. Man, again, I'm just worrying. Like, the Centaur's being... You mentioned 4 minutes, and it's already 1 minute has gone by, and he just got like, what, he's like 1.3.
I mean, you know, we initially talked
Radiant's top tower
talked
is
about
under attack.
rotating bottom like 6-7 minutes ago, and you know, then you brought it up again a couple of minutes ago. I
Radiant's
feel like that
structures are
maybe that
fortified.
adjustment wouldn't win them the game, but it's just
It's
there's no
ne-
other way to
necessary.
like
Yeah,
change the tempo of this
It's
game.
really
Radiant's
necessary to
top
give the
tower has
Centaur
been
time to
denied.
farm right now, since the lane didn't work out for him with the Abaddon.
It's tough. I mean, part of it is that they drafted 3.5 melee heroes and then a Wisp, which is not really doing much in terms of lane control. So it was hard for Navi to apply a lot of pressure early on. Outside of the troll mid, and well, Xiaowei punished him quickly. Now RTK going to clear his stack. He will have Blink first if he wants it, which I imagine we'll see the Blink come out. They already have the mech. This will be easy.
This is like the point where BG is gonna be really strong after the blink. From
It's
the
just
fight.
gonna. It feels like it should be surgical for BG. Every little bit going their way. They're hitting their timings. Both carries are farming. They've got their core levels, except for Witch Doctor ulti, but that comes soon. Navi have to do something to shake things up.
But what can they actually do without the blink? I'm just like they just need to wait for the blink. The only way they can get back into the game, blink, storm, you catch out a core target, relocate comes in, you get a quick pick off, you get out, and just rinse repeat. And BG would obviously try to group up by then, and hopefully when they group up, you already accrued enough, maybe from speed pushing to be able to actually take the head-on fight. Otherwise, the head-on fight for Navi is just difficult.
So if BG won, once they get this blink, they could start for Protect 1. Burning's not going to join them yet. He doesn't even have his E-Blade. They can just start 4-manning towers. Can Navi actually fight them at that point?
It's really difficult, to be honest.
Because if they're 4-manning at the tower, then you can't just like go in with Centaur and get an easy
Yeah,
kill.
and you're gonna obviously try to kill the Morph, but at the same time,
Who's going to kill them more? They
Yeah.
have no Doom. They have no reliable silences. It feels almost impossible. He's going to get off strength
Yeah,
more.
just
They
look-
don't have burst
just
damage
look at what
either.
the Shadow Fiend even like Xiao even chooses to go for a blink. Like that's
Oh.
how confident he is.
Morphling, like you see 2 heroes in the top lane running at Morphling, but he's not even losing HP. They can't do anything to him.
They're gonna hit like just blink Ravage like 2 heroes and blink on Shadow Fiend, finishing off everyone. This is just at a point where
It just feels like a textbook game.
it's just everything is part of a plan already, and everything's going forward. And Navi, there's no answer for them. What can they do apart from the blink Centaur, and which is just about to come online.
Well, next act in the script is taking Roche. That'll be going BG's way as well. Navi just backed into a corner a bit. I imagine that Centaur blink either already out or coming out momentarily.
Roshan has fallen
20,
to the
yeah,
dark.
he's got it now. But right as he gets it, Shadow Fiend gets an Aegis. This is not the timing that you're searching for if you're Navi.
Yeah, they have Hovos is really fun, but him alone, can he actually do it?
Radiant's bottom tower
I don't know.
is
I
under
guess we'll find out soon enough.
The Bristol back feels like he's gonna be having a lot of trouble from the cast and obviously the Melodic as well. A lot of minus armor, but
Are they going to be allowed to push mid? I feel like we see BG defend this.
yeah, they have a tight
Troll
Ravage.
ulti is used.
Yeah, they're
Already
gonna,
the TPs come in.
they're
They're
gonna
they're,
send
they're not
Ravage.
they're not going to be allowed to take this tower. If Navi stick around, they're going to have to fight BG. And RTK gets in position to hold the line. They still are showing the Morphling bottom, but again, I'm not sure he's needed for these fights, WinteR.
here they go.
He can just come in as the cleanup crew. Xiaowei will show himself. Havost getting confident. He wants to commit to this, and RTK just baiting him forward, begging him to try and finish off the tower. But I think wisely, Havost not going to try and force it too much. They'll go for the replicate instead. And they'll get it.
And they see the blink from the Centaur.
Dendy's and Viz here mid. And can he, I guess the question is, can he make a play? Not sure if BG even saw this room picked up. He's swinging around through the tree line. Maybe he can snipe a courier or something on the way back, but they actually have a sentry ward behind the tower. They must have seen him grab it. This could go poorly. Jumping in as Xiao80 unloads with the Requiem. Then the Ravage coming out. Bang score. Unable to get the relocate off. He's out of mana right now, and Havost in trouble. They'll lose their whiz. They lose Havost as well. It looks like shotgun down by Burning. Goblek trying to heal and survive. Dendy on the sides of this fight, but everybody stands together as BG. 4 men.
middle tower is
Nobody giving an inch. They bring down 3. The tower at least going the way of the Radiant. A small consolation prize for Navi, but it's small.
Yeah, that was how devastating the team fight was, like from the tight Ravage and the Requiem.
And they didn't even lose Aegis. I mean,
It was
he wasn't even close to losing it.
Yeah.
Dendi's still running away, by the way.
That's just how
He has no TP
yeah,
scroll.
that was just how devastating the team fight was, and Navi had literally no answer to that.
Burning, continuing to chase it. Dendi
Oh my
regrowth.
god.
He's going to run towards the enemy fountain. Maybe he tries to TP out from the fountain. Does anybody TP back to greet him? No, Burning just going to replicate forward. Where you going, Dendi? You ain't going to my well. And he'll be brought down in the end. Long chase, but eventually Dondo will fall too, WinteR.
It's
It
just
feels almost hopeless. For
it's
Navi.
just really hard for them to fight already. You can tell from the last fight, and it's what are they gonna do right now? Split push with Bristol and Troll, and hope for the best. While the enemy
That's
Shadow
probably their best option.
yeah, and the
honestly.
enemy Shadow Fiend and Morphing's like great. We're just gonna farm and
And they have
fight.
shotgun, I believe. The Morphling, if he doesn't have it yet, is
Yeah,
about
he
to
has
pick
it.
it up.
He
Yeah,
already has
shotgun, 800 gold in the bank. So you go off split pushing. Wisp is almost certainly a one-shot KO.
Yeah, lucky for them, this is the only easy target.
Does have the Bell of Giant Strength and Urn, but I think with the wave shotgun,
Yeah, he's definitely gonna die.
you're dead.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna die from one combination of spells. But the rest of the heroes are not easy pickups, that's for sure. The troll is also a possible pickup. He has only 1000 HP.
BG, it's been a quiet game, and that's much to their liking. 7-3 the score at 19.5 minutes in, a little bit of change. They continue just to stack the Ancients, farming efficiently all around the map, and Navi, now they try to make their move. They're going to attempt to strike on Xiao 8, but they're charging up onto the high ground into a Requiem, which is quickly unleashed onto Dendi. Xiao 8 stunned, but fights his way through this. Ice kept alive for now as BG attempt to finish off Dendi. Bank score going back soon, and, well, too bad. You're popped by Burning. The shotgun comes out, finishing him off. Now there's no getaway car for Navi, who are fighting in a very isolated fashion. Havos chasing in one direction, does get a double kill. Burning grabs the triple as the exchange. They still have Ravage. They let it fly. Dendi, the one you want to bring down here. He'll be finished off. That one actually going to Xiao 8, and now the TP out attempt at Havos will make it. A 4-for-2 exchange there, I believe.
Yeah, the Ravage just came off cooldown at the very tail end of the fight, and like, man, you could tell Navi's idea. They wanted to try and pick a fight before the Tide's ultimate come off cooldown, but it was just again like, it was just difficult. They ran up the ramp, and the Requiem just basically did so much damage there.
It's
And
really good against this Navi lineup because, again, they're very melee-centric. 4 or 5
Yeah,
heroes that are
in-
going to be up in your face.
You need to be close and personal with the Shadow Fiend to actually kill him, and that's when the Requiem will just destroy you.
And they have very few ways to cancel its channel. They have
One stun.
Bash and Stomp.
One stun.
Do they try to go on Xiao 8? No, he's just going to blink out towards the top rune. He's going to grab an invis here as Burning continues to take over the enemy jungle. BG it just feels so fluid from them. And the options seem very limited.
Just when you see RTK going up to the Abaddon.
Bash?
Oh my god, did
Oh.
you see what he just did?
He just TP'd out for the tier
Yeah.
2. He's like, you're not going to bash me.
Is under attack.
Oh my god, that is just...
That's a little cocky.
That just tells you how the game is going.
That's where you know RTK is probably yelling his head off right now at the hotel in Shanghai, saying,
Come at me,
"Come
bro.
at me,
Bro, what
tase
can you...
me, I dare you."
What can you do, bro? And
Bernie
top
may
lane.
end up dying here, though. They get off the double edge. He falls. That's a huge takedown for Navi. Finally, at long last, a mistake from BG.
A blink kill.
And the tower. A Morphling down. A kill streak ended. Keeps Avost on top in terms of net worth. A slight glimmer of hope in a sea of darkness up until now. But still, they trail. 5,000 gold, 8,000 experience. Not insurmountable as far as the numbers go, but still late game. Very solid for BG if they can avoid giving up those kills.
Yeah, and Ty is like more than halfway done to his refresher as well. He has the he has the perseverance more or less, and the oblivion stuff is
But they may get a tier 2. There's no Ravage right now. 20 seconds.
and no morphing as well.
That's a really big kill.
2 towers and a core kill. That's
Radiant's
a huge
bottom
turning
tower
point for
is
them.
under attack.
But again, BG is like in. I feel they're still feeling really secure at this point by how the game actually still went. Obviously, it's bad to lose the morphing, but you know, stuff happens and you have to deal with it. Come back with the next Aegis, which is going to be up really soon in the next few minutes, and
Radiant's bottom
hopefully
tower
regroup
is
and
under
push after that.
attack.
So I guess if you're BG now, you just wait for your next Roshan and just keep farming the Shadow Fiend Morphling. Get your refresher.
Yeah, morphing needs like a
Relocate onto the mid lane. Coming in hot, Funnick initiating for this one. They now pop the Crimson Guard, but Chow8 will unwind the Requiem, trying to keep Ice Ice alive as long as humanly possible. ROTK marching in. They unload with the Death Ward, and the Maledict is the big X factor there as they manage to get the kill in the Bristle, as well as the Wisp. 2 for 1, and a Relocate and a Ravage, both expended. Burning now, looking for that shotgun, I believe still cooling down, maybe getting fogged here as he walks up the ramp. They start trying to block with the Replicate now. Anchor Smash. Gush, and Chow8 comes in. He starts lobbing some haymakers at Goblack. He'll try for the TP out. Does Bernie have a way to cancel this? Nope.
No mana.
No adaptive. I think he morphed a bit too much. I'm not sure.
And he used Waveform as well to finish off
Yeah.
his last few bits of mana, but the Ravage didn't hit any hero. Not even
That
one.
Maledict is really good against Bristleback. On just
Yeah,
on,
it
the,
was
on
just-
talking about that fight more. That
Yeah.
that did a lot of work.
It was just like a second, like 2 ranks in Maledict as well. Wasn't even a full potential Maledict. Bristol is gonna need a BKB for sure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Does the damage reduction from the Shadow Fiend ult still work if you have BKB?
Yeah, you still get the
Okay.
reduction from the ultimate. Okay, Roshan is almost up. BG is just gonna be looking to get that done as soon as it actually spawns. Tidehunter will have middle lane. Here comes the center.
Onto RTK. Doesn't have Ravage, of course, and they try to catch him out. Cass coming in, and they'll just TP away. Navi, they're just getting chafed by these TPs. Not many ways to deal with
Yeah,
it.
we talk about it. Only one stun.
It's irritating. And that's if they have to run, which, to be honest, is not normally the case. Dendy again on the move, but they have a sentry here from a D-ward attempt that happened earlier. Dendy walks right into it. Oh, so unlucky. Now Chow8 on the high ground, just standing and delivering as they pursue out Bankscore. He attempts to retreat. They're not going to go in any further. They did use up their Shadow Fiend BKB, and they know Ravage is on cooldown, so BG playing it safe, as they will relocate back out to top.
Oh, that was a really risky maneuver though. They wanted to go in, fight with the relocate, but it was like uphill situation though.
It was at the same time, like I'm pretty sure that sentry. I know they placed a sentry there earlier trying to D-ward, but I believe they planted a fresh one as well shortly after that. So I guess he runs into the one from earlier, but they might have had another one waiting for him regardless.
Centaur's gonna finish the 4-star. Dundee so far only has his SMY. He needs his BKB very badly this game. They need BKBs like basically on all their cores.
They need a lot of physical damage mitigation as well. You're looking at the Shadow Fiend minus armor, the Venge, the Witch Doctor ulti, Morphling right clicks. They still have magic damage. Shotgun, Requiem, but if these fights are going to go longer, which is generally what Troll and Bristle wants, then they got to be able to withstand the right clicks.
Maybe they will have it in the form of a Vlad. If the Wisp manages to finish the mech later on, would be helpful for their lineup. Or the Abaddon getting a Vlad, so they are really far at this point. Not much items are going to be coming out from the Abaddon and the IO at this point. It's the Tide Refresher is just coming so soon.
If you're BG and you get the
He has
refresher,
it. He has it.
do you just 5-man down mid now?
Man, he has it. Yeah, you just go 5-man. There's no BKB on Navi. Not even one hero has BKB. What is the answer towards the double Ravage? They're just gonna take it, tank it, try and tank it.
I guess they have to. I think they have to rat. Use the Wisp relocates, the Troll ulti. Uh-oh. Havos, there is plenty of backup here, it would seem, but still, they've now scouted out the refresher if they quickly clicked on him. This is going to be scary. Do BG want a 5-man? Burning is heading towards top.
Roche, they can just Roche and 5-man after this. It's just the safest way, the most methodical way as well, like systematic way.
Burst drops very quickly with the minus armor, and he'll end up breaking. The Aegis now going on to Burning, giving him a lot of flexibility to play hyper aggressive in the upcoming fights. Let's see if they want to try and force the issue now. It's if they want to farm more. I mean, they still have some items to pick up.
Why not as well? Like
It's not like they have to win now.
they are not in any rush. They are not forced to make any moves. Like farming doesn't really mean it's bad for now because Navi can catch up because BG actually can also farm the whole map. They have map control right now against the
Maybe
Wisp.
they get Lanham here. Phonic just waiting around the tree line.
Oh, they
I
see
think
him.
now sees him. Yep, 4-step in. And the blink. Catches him with the stomp. Lanham will drop. Pick off here for Navi. Only a support once again, though. And they're just going to walk mid. I think they've decided we've had enough of going on our own. Let's just 4 or 5 man down mid. And they're shotgunning in the Ancients right now. Radiant Ancients, Troll gonna go down. It looks like Dendi can't escape. Good pick off there by Burning.
Thanks to the Observer Ward.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the Observer Ward.
And losing the Troll. Dendi again with the deaths. You just look at the disparity now between him and that Shadow Fiend mid. Xiao 8, 5k up and change on him. Sonic stampedes, but Xiao 8, uh-oh, hello, Requiem waiting, kaboom! 3 dead in a matter of seconds, and Havost left to his own devices. He'll fall as well. This is not looking too hot for Na'Vi. It's 4, it's gonna be 5. They get wrecked. Relocate onto a BKB Shadow Fiend with Requiem and double Ravage. What were they thinking?
Desperado.
That's basically throwing in the towel. You go for that move, you're Na'Vi.
They were like, we're not gonna win if the
Let's
game-
go out with
let's
a bang.
Try. Let's try. What if we get the Stomp and Shadowfiend didn't BKB? What if, like,
Yeah. Even then, though, there's still double Ravage.
and there's the swap, so
And there's the swap.
it's really bleak.
I think Na'Vi look at this game and they just realize it was a somewhat risky draft, and then things like Dendi getting solo killed by Xiao 8 mid because he tried to post up on him. That type of mistake just
Yeah,
it just doesn't. It can't work with
the
this
game
draft. Other
literally-
drafts you can make those mistakes, but not with this.
The
one.
game literally was like almost over after he actually died in middle solo to the Shadowfiend, and top lane didn't go well. It was just so difficult after that. And they needed him to win the lane. That's like basically what they needed him to do early game. Like it was so crucial for him to actually at least be able to hold an advantage against the Shadowfiend.
Looking at the Na'Vi draft, is there something that like you feel like they could have done differently that would be more stable, or?
Nah, I would have laned it exactly the way they laned it. It's
But
just,
do you like in terms of the heroes they picked? Is there anything you think they should have changed, or?
I'm not sure though, because they always pick like this. You know, this is just
Yeah.
their style. This is the Navi style. It's just that they didn't execute it well enough.
Oh, Dendi in danger. The shotgun comes out, Burning just blows him up.
The same
Splatters his brains all over these Ancients, and then
The
oh, he'll
same
kill the
spot.
Ancients too.
The same spot again.
He's a vicious master, this Burning Morphling.
It's probably gonna kill the big ones and leave the small ones. No.
No, Burning wants all the gold.
There, he left one.
You know you're Burning, I guess. And now, oh yeah, by the way, Shadow Fiend Butterfly. Looking better and better for Big God. Worse and worse for Na'Vi as the siege begins. Working their way onto the high ground. I believe they have the double Ravage online now for
Nah,
RTK.
60 seconds before the second double.
Okay,
Second
well,
ravage.
do they even need one? I guess that's the question right now. Burning and Xiao 8, the twin towers for BG, just laying into this Rax. They will pop the Aegis here to start. Now working on Xiao 8, he drops reasonably low, but they have to swap if he actually gets into danger. They'll throw it out now just to be safe. Burning now going to jump onto Vang's score. He actually doesn't connect on the waveform. He starts to strength morph. He's going to need backup soon. Havost BKB going to wear off momentarily. Requiem follow. Oh my goodness, this is going to be ugly. Funnick dropping, Godlike on the run. Everybody from BG just pushing Na'Vi around. The Death Ward's still going, by the way. Lanham finally runs out of duration. Burning may die here, but a fresh cask and a new lease on life for Xiao 8 comes in. They'll bring down Godlike. Another team wipe. BG smacking Na'Vi in the jaw and possibly just KOing them out of this game. That was brutal. Havost will buy back. He's going to try to get something as a trade. Really has to get all 3 kills, it feels like.
That was like a big right hand blow.
That was an uppercut, and I feel like at this point Na'Vi may just have a glass jaw. Trying to run down Xiao 8, but I don't even know if this kill makes the buyback worth it. This will be a bash, and Havost gets a big one. It's a lot of gold. 740 monster kill streak, probably even more overall in terms of momentum swing. Yeah, that's a 1900 gold swing, but end of the day, we're still looking at a 18k gold lead for BG, a lane of Rax advantage, a 20k experience lead. It's still prognosis negative for Na'Vi.
Yeah, you saw that fight. Just one Ravage. He got a fairly easy one as well because they were going into the Shadow Fiend and they had to do something, otherwise they would lose the Rex. But the team fight was just too enormous.
You know what's a little bit scary about BG though is like it feels like we're literally seeing their teamwork evolve like from game to game. Obviously these are veteran players, but they haven't been playing on LAN with each other as of late. They've been relaxing, playing from home, probably not really training too seriously, playing a lot of pubs, I'm sure, but with players this experienced, it feels like they could morph into a juggernaut of a team over the course of a tournament.
Yeah, they will get better at time. after a couple of games at the event, and you would see maybe at the end of the event they're gonna be a lot better. But this game is just more or less Navi is gonna have like a really tough time coming back into the game. They have to rely on what happened the last time again. Sentinel blinked in, got off the Aegis right off the bat because Morphling was at really low HP. But because he had Aegis, he was playing a little, just cocky and was a bit careless, and he lost his Aegis so quickly. But this time around, he's gonna have his Skadi completed, Skadi Mentor and Ethereal Blade. It's gonna be a tough burst again this time around. They can't really burst in that easily anymore.
Shiva's refresher tied. Level 19 at 34 minutes. That's pretty filthy.
And it's just a really good game to be tight when the enemy has this sort of heroes that wants to dive into you. Centaur comes in, tries to get a kill, Relocate comes in. It's just a perfect situation for the Tide to shine in this game. It's the Ravagers are just so hard for Navi to deal with their lineup.
And BKB is just so good against Navi. Like
They have one BKB, only one, right?
yeah, but it's on the hero that they really want to jump. Like, you can't really go on Morphling, right? The Shadow Fiend having BKB, he's almost invulnerable, it feels. They're going to try to engage on him. At the same time, RTK caught out. Xiaowei dropping low. He gets bashed right mid-Requiem channel, but he just stands and fights anyway. They'll slowly march forward. Vangscore quickly dealt with. They swap back in. Havos, who heads the other direction. Now the cast clipping him. The Witch Doctor all coming through. Ravage, just slayed on the attempt to get two there, but, well, the kill secured by a Shadow Fiend Requiem. Actually, the last hit going to land him. They did immediately pop their Tide Refresher. He's got a second Ravage at the ready. And Havost is now dead for 90 seconds, as that was effectively a dieback for him. BG, time to push top.
This is the last match to end the game.
Well, WinteR, assuming Navi go on to lose this game, which it certainly looks like they will, they're going to be 0-3.
Not a very good start. Newbie is also new. 0-3 today.
They did have to play Secret, who looked to be one of the stronger teams. So, I mean, that's a loss that you can look at and say, all right, well, we played one of the top teams at this tournament. Not the biggest deal to drop a game to them, but they got a team who we weren't really sure how to place. And if they're taking care of business with Navi like this, then they're going to have to start putting some wins on the board in a hurry. Bottom 4 don't even move on to the main event. For now, though, Navi are just going to have to reevaluate as the racks are under siege. RTK coming in. Art, nice BKB dodge of the Ravage by Denny, but what does it matter? Withers right clicks burning. Going to shred him on the way back to the well, and as quickly as Goblek tries to scurry out, he gets pulled back in. GG. This one was pretty ugly. Navi felt like they never had a shot after the first 5-10
Yeah,
minutes.
it's like they could already call it's in the bag after the laning phase.
Well, it's trouble town for Navi. Big God. I think a team that we can look towards to be a threat moving forward. They're now 2-1.
The director on a roll.
And making some plays, man. He just swagged on Dendy in the mid lane. That was a bit cocky by Dendy to try to run up the hill, though.
Usually Dandy is not so cocky.
Maybe he's feeling some pressure to make plays for his team.
Yeah, it's like you're in a draft, like in this sort of draft, you feel laning phase is really important. You need to get an advantage. Sometimes things like this, it pushes the players. Like usually you're patient, but because we have to get something out. We have to get something out of the laning phase.
Yeah.
And it just tips you over. It trips you, and you go too aggressive, and you just pay with your life.
We've got Mr. Parker back. Hello, David.
Hello.
Hello.
You hanging in there?
I'm hanging in there. At the start of the day, we were kind of making some bottom 4 type predictions, and not many people said Navi. I think they were kind of one of those forgotten teams. People didn't expect them to do well or be no one mentioned them in the top 5, top 6, but at the same time, the bottom 4 was names like Tong Fu, Hellraisers, HGT were thrown around, even Big God was thrown around, but MVP Phoenix, the other big one, but no one mentioned Na'Vi. But right now, Na'Vi's on a quick road to the bottom 4 because they've lost to 2 of those teams that were mentioned. They've lost to Hellraisers and Big God, so Na'Vi definitely looking like one of the weaker teams. And to me, it's not okay, they lost to Secret, that's one excusable loss, but even these other games, they're just looking like their drafts, they seem super lost. I don't know. The Warlock support pick, that draft there, and it's
the Warlock support and the enemy 4th picks Brood Mother, then
yeah, they're getting out.
You can literally just look at the draft and this has got to be Goblak's face when he damn.
If your draft is that little margin for error, generally you've gotten out drafted. even if you go on to win with that
Yeah,
draft,
but if you look at their past games, it's just basically, it's the way you look at the pattern they've been picking their heroes. It's just in their comfort zone.
But you also look at the results where they're drafting this way and it's just not working
Yep.
consistently. I guess it's hard though. Can you really change your style mid-tournament? Will Navi be able to adapt? Because historically, Gone Black, he finds something that he likes and he really sticks with it.
he's like the man that no matter what happens, I believe in this, the way he wants
Comparing
to
him to like an EG or even a Newbie or Vici Gaming, who historically have been very good
Yeah.
at adapting mid-tournament, can Navi do it? To me, that's the big question. And will decide their fate at this
They're
tournament.
looking very uninspired.
Tomorrow will be the day where we will see.
I don't think the team just have the belief anymore. Like, I think the past Navi, back with Puppy and Kura, like, that team, even when they got down the server 2 and got in the lower bracket, you still had that belief that that Navi could do it. This Navi, they get behind, you just think, I mean, I'm going to pull an NG Pacemaker. I think they're going bottom 4. Like, I think this is just the end. I don't know. It's not working for Navi. I don't know what can change.
I think the Navi fans are pretty depressed right now. You have
Yeah.
anything positive and happy to share with them, David?
They're done for today.
We've already
They can sleep. They can sleep on their losses and come back
Jesus,
tomorrow.
dude.
That's the good news. They have no more games to play.
They can't lose any more games today.
Yeah, that's the good news. But
Oh,
we'll take a
jeez.
look at some standing. Let's see who is doing well, because it's not Navi right now. It's these guys at the top of the standings. EG 3-0, Secret 2-0, and they're playing a match right now over on the Dota Cinema stream. If you guys want to check that out, taking on Hellraisers. And then there's this kind of middle of the pack kind of field here, which is the teams you kind of expected to do well. Brave, one of the kind of slight surprise. I know some people kind of gave them a shot, kind of put them above MVP at least. And I mean, I think all in all, there hasn't been any major surprises or upsets on day one, apart from the MVP upset over Newbie for me. And Newbie just going 0-3 in general. Speaking of Newbie, let's take a look at the bottom half of the bracket. Anything that stands out to you guys?
Well, Newbie.
Newbie.
Now that you've mentioned them.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeesh.
that's everything else I feel has gone as expected. I mean, LGD are 1 and 2. LG lost to Tongfu. I guess that was somewhat of an upset
Yes.
earlier today.
Navi and Newbie 0-3. I mean, it is just day one. It's very natural to want to read a lot into these results. Fortunes can change, but
You know, sometimes
would-
sometimes you feel the morale. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like more the way it's more the way Newbie and Navi lost rather than the fact that they're 0-3. It's like just watching the way the games went.
well,
These
one of
just
those
don't feel like teams who have it right now,
one of those teams, I believe, will make a comeback.
and they're not Navi.
I'm vouching for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys can decide which.
You
you
look,
viewers.
look at.
Well, I mean, it's gods. Come on. Obviously, the Chinese team. Any other
I'm
interesting
glad we got Winter
storylines that
here.
you guys see out of the standings or team performances today? I guess Rave, you were pretty high
Yeah,
on Rave.
I-
They're
yeah,
2-1.
yeah.
Yeah, both of us are actually thinking that Rave would.
I
Actually
think Rave
do,
are legit.
Yeah.
Rave would do very well in the. event.
They looked really good in their wins today.
It's still one of those things, like when they get to the main set, I see them doing well in the group stage, likely getting top 8 in the group stage, but you get to that playoff stage, you're in a BO3 against probably one of, like, I don't think they'll get top 4 or 5, so they'll be versing a tough team in the first round. If they lose that BO3, then they drop down to the lower bracket, and sure, they may be the favorite, but a BO1, like, I feel like Rave may choke come the big main stage, but for now in the group stage, I think they're in really good
Yeah,
shape.
they're in really good shape. I
Yeah.
agree.
All right. Well, guys, with that said, we've got one more match coming up for today. One more heat. That last match is going to be Evil Geniuses versus LGD. Myself and WinteR will be bringing you that one. Do we still have any games going on, Brian?
Yeah, but this one might start soon.
Okay, so this game is probably going to start soon. We're going to take a quick break. If the game has not begun after the break, we'll come back and we'll bring you the rest of Secret versus HR. If you want to watch that now, go to the Dota Cinema stream, twitch.tv/Dota Cinema. And well, with that said, guys, you're watching the Dota 2 Asia Championships. We'll be right back.
Don't just stream, bet now. Go to ebattle.com.